Good afternoon. Gary Millershaski here. I'm a commissioner in the southwest corner of the great state of Kansas. To give you a perspective where I'm at, I'm actually 80 miles north of Oklahoma, 40 miles east of Colorado. With that being said, right now we're doing this virtual tour to replace the old hands-on where we would do a 3-day stint. I'd put 1,000 miles on my Suburban, 3 days of a lot of checking fields, doing stand counts, head size, all of the above, and we're just trying to have a little bit of perspective what's out in what we're looking at for this year's wheat crop. To give you a quick synopsis of everything, we had above normal rainfall last summer. However, the middle of August, Mother Nature decided we had enough and it quit. From the middle of August till today, May the 20th, I've only had 3.9 inches of moisture. With that being said, when we planted our wheat, we started planting on time. We held off a little bit, and then we went ahead and we finished by dusting it in. We got up, I'm going to say, between 30 and 40% of our wheat we got up in the fall last year, like you're supposed to. The remainder of it didn't come up till this spring. It's still hard red winter wheat or hard white winter wheat, but it didn't emerge till in the spring. With that being said, our tiller counts are quite a bit lower, and so with that, the heads are actually, or the plants are trying to compensate and producing a little bit bigger head. We've actually fertilized for 55 bushel wheat, and I'm thinking we're looking at about a 30 to 31 bushel crop in my area due to the moisture and everything involved. And with that being said, I believe our quantity is going to be down a little bit, but I feel like our quality is going to be unbelievable. It's what I call a miller's or broker's dream on the fact that I'm looking to have a lot of high protein wheat, good extraction. This is going to be the stuff people like to buy, or I like to sell, because it should be worth a little bit more if we get it in the bin. Back to that, our moisture, we're at least 4 to 5 inches below average, and in the afternoon our fields are really stressing. The driving around, getting out and looking at fields, you can tell the ones that are, if it's in a fallow wheat situation, such as this one, it's hanging on relatively good. If there's any wheat that's continuous crop, or if it's following a previous milo field, it's struggling quite a bit more. We have had a fair amount of abandonment, at least in my area, and when I drive around and try to calculate, I'm looking at anywhere from, I'd say, 3 or 4 to 7% of wheat that people have had the insurance adjuster come appraise it and decide that it's not going to pay to leave it, so they've killed it. I don't know what they're going to do because we have no moisture to put in another crop, but that's what they've done. The other thing, as far as acres go, at least in this area, our acres are down substantial. I've got friends that have only planted, I'm going to say, 2/3 of what they normally do, or I've got a few friends within a 50-mile radius that didn't even plant wheat last fall because they're south and west of me, and they're so dry they couldn't get anything up, and they said they're not even going to mess. And they're still in the same situation because we're so short on moisture the last 8 months. With that being said, with the dryness, we don't really have any rust issues. However, as far as disease pressure goes, we did have a bad freeze, I'm thinking 3 weeks ago, and I don't know if that brought on mosaic or if it's just stressed the plant enough, but I know north and east of me, the freeze really took a toll on a lot of the plants. And granted, if you do head counts, yeah, we lost anywhere from 20 to 60% of our actual heads at the time. But that's not my biggest fear right now. My fear is the moisture, the lack of moisture. I've got to get some moisture so I can have grain fill to produce the kernel that my objective is. One other comment I'd like to make right quick is I've done this tour for several years, and when I first started being a driver to do the tour, Ben Hancock was he was the Maharaji, and I'd like to just make a comment, remember him, to any friends or family of him, that he was a legend as far as I'm concerned, as far as making this wheat tour as popular and as precise as it is today. The other thing, I guess I'll let it go for now, and if anybody has questions, feel free to ask, and I'll do the best I can to respond. I'm not tech savvy, and I'm doing the best I can in this day and age. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.